Could Jurgen Klopp be about to make a shock move to the Bernabeu? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around these two men and, of course, the overall bigger picture of Real Madrid in this video. The story goes is that, of course, on Monday night, Xabi Alonso was removed from his position as the head coach of Real Madrid, being sacked in the aftermath of obviously Real Madrid's Spanish Super Cup defeat at the hands of arch rivals Barcelona. But since then, though, there has been plenty of talk about who may become his successor, who may become the next permanent manager at Real Madrid. Of course, as we know, the caretaker manager right now is Alvaro Arbeloa, but it's not expected him to be the permanent manager going forward. There is expected to be a big move by Real Madrid, and that big move could come in the form of former Borussia Dortmund and Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp. He is said to be high on the wish list of Real Madrid, a potential dream target to potentially succeed Xabi Alonso on a permanent basis. This would be phenomenal if this actually materialized, and really would give credence to the phrase known as, if you can't beat them, join them. We're going to be talking about this story. We're going to be talking about Xabi Alonso, Jurgen Klopp, and of course the overall bigger picture of Real Madrid in this video. But before we go any further discussing all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you all to get involved in the comment section down below. Use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on this incredible topic of conversation. I'm sure what you have to say will make for great interesting reading, so please do get involved. And without further ado, let's go on with the video at hand. Let's go on with the topic at hand. Let's go on with the conversation of Xabi Alonso, Jurgen Klopp, and of course Real Madrid. Look, Monday was incredible. Monday night was absolutely incredible for the Xabi Alonso story breaking. It kind of hit a little bit out of the blue. I don't think a lot of people were anticipating it to happen so soon, or expecting it to happen as early as when it did. We obviously had heard rumblings and rumours about how, you know, there were tensions that were rising behind the scenes. It wasn't exactly all sunshine and rainbows between Xabi Alonso, the players at Real Madrid, and the board as well. You know, there were rumblings and rumours that it wasn't exactly going well, and that, you know, when you hear stories of the Real Madrid board 100% back Xabi Alonso, there's not normally complete truth to that. It normally does mean that a manager is somewhat losing the faith of the board, and that's seemingly how it's turned out. It's incredible to think that, because obviously where Xabi Alonso leaves Real Madrid, a lot of clubs would be really happy with being in that situation. Going into the second half of the season, Xabi Alonso leaves Real Madrid second in the table in the La Liga, 4 points behind Barcelona. Okay, Champions League may not be in an amazing position, but, you know, it's still the league phase, and obviously things can change in the knockout stages, and you'd be a fool to back against Real Madrid, given their Champions League heritage, to not even consider them to be a potential winner of that competition. So it's not exactly like he's leaving them in a horrible position. He also leaves them with a 70% winning record. So again, it's not, it doesn't make for horrible reading. It doesn't make for disgusting reading. It's actually really good. And again, a lot of clubs, whether they're in La Liga or not, would absolutely love to have a head coach with that winning record, and would love to be going into the second half of the season in a title race. So it's not as if Real Madrid have been underwhelming or poor or underachieving this season. It's just the margin for error at Real Madrid is thin. and the standards are extremely high. And they are extremely high for anybody. And I think that if you don't quite fit the criteria that they want fully, you're going to struggle there. And that's exactly what it is. This is not down to Xabi Alonso being a terrible coach or a bad coach. This is just down to Alonso and Real Madrid not being a good fit for each other. And seemingly, Real Madrid basically hiring Alonso because of how well he was doing at Bayer Leverkusen. Maybe the former player aspect at Real Madrid also played into account. But for the most part, it does seem like they took his achievement rather than how he was playing. Because I can't imagine there weren't conversations that took place about his playing style when it seems as though that's an element in which the club president, Florentino Perez, was frustrated by. He was frustrated by his training methods, the way that he was playing on the pitch. It seemed, if you are to believe the reports, that is, that Perez wasn't happy with the way that Alonso was trying to get the team to play. And certain reports again are stating that certain players weren't exactly happy with the way that they were being told to play. There was a respect thing that wasn't going around at the club. Player power seemingly ruled the roost at the Bernabeu, especially during Alonso's time, and seemingly has been there for a number of years now, which is really coming to the surface these past few years. Things like that. It just seems as though this is not Alonso's fault. It's just Alonso is not a good fit for Real Madrid. And people need to understand that. People genuinely do need to understand that. Because I've seen, obviously, naturally, there are going to be links to other clubs as well, and big clubs at that. And I know a lot of Liverpool fans, myself included, would absolutely love and adore Xabi Alonso to succeed Arne Slot at Liverpool right now. A lot of people that are slot out want Xabi Alonso to be his successor. There are certain people in their fan base, though, who are claiming that they don't want him simply for the reason that Slot, in their words, absolutely schooled him over the past couple of years whilst being Real Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen manager. And by that logic, then, that means that Liverpool should be going after a Nuno Espirito Santo or a Sean Dyche or whoever has beaten us over these past couple of years. That logic makes absolute zero sense. Certain managers just get wins over certain managers. They get the better of certain managers. It's just the way that sometimes football goes. Look at the bigger picture. That's what I always urge everybody. Look at the bigger picture. Xabi Alonso is a great manager. His record at Real Madrid even speaks for itself. It's just there is a margin for error at Real Madrid that is wafer thin, and there is a extreme high standard at that club. And unfortunately, through his playing style, through his management of the team, it just wasn't to be. He seemingly couldn't handle the egos at Real Madrid, and that again is nothing to be sniffed at considering the caliber of players that they have. He couldn't handle that. Player power rules the roost over there. It just wasn't meant to be for Xabi Alonso at the biggest club in world football. And then you look at who might succeed him at the club. Now, at the time of recording, the seemingly strong favourite is Enzo Maresca. And we all know from his time at Chelsea, got a lot of potential to his name. But again, is he going to be someone that is going to go into that Real Madrid dressing room and be able to handle the calibre of player that they have, the egos that they have? Remember, he'll be basically jumping ship from a squad that was based purely on potential and promise and buying youngsters to a team that is full of a winning mentality, a winning mindset, won a lot of trophies wherever they've been, a squad that has been put together through you're good enough to be considered one of the world's best players in your position. You're now in a team of some of the world's best in their respective positions. Can you handle the egos? Can you handle the quality and the caliber of player? That's going to be a massive ask for Enzo Maresca, who hasn't done that. But then you look at who the second favourite is, and it is a certain manager named Jurgen Klopp. Klopp, who of course we know from his time the likes of Borussia Dortmund, and of course more recently Liverpool. And I would hate it if this actually came true. I would hate it if this came true for a couple of reasons, right? Number one, obviously, given the rivalry between Liverpool and Real Madrid during his tenure as Liverpool manager, I would hate to see him join Real Madrid. I would hate to see this sort of story play out where it's like, if you can't beat them, join them kind of thing. I would hate it. I'd hate it. I'd hate it. I'd hate it. I'd also hate it because I could see them completely disrespecting and disregarding Jurgen Klopp. I think he'd go into that dressing room with a lot more, with a much bigger reputation than what Xabi Alonso was going in. This is a Champions League winning manager, a two-time Bundesliga champion, a Premier League champion as well, won everything there is to win in England. His resume speaks for itself and how incredible he is. And of course, as we know, he can get the best out of his players. He is an excellent man manager, and that's on a certain level. That's sort of what Real Madrid are wanting. They're wanting more a manager rather than a tactical genius, which of course Klopp is. I wouldn't say he's a tactical genius, but of course he knows the game, and of course he understands certain tactics. But as far as what the little details go, I wouldn't necessarily call him a genius in that aspect and that right. He is more of a man manager that is going to get the players highly motivated to run through brick walls for him. So I guess in that aspect that can actually work for Real Madrid. But like I say, I just don't think they would appreciate Jurgen Klopp's style. I don't think they would appreciate Jurgen Klopp in terms of what he would try and get his players to do from a respectful point of view. These players just don't seem like they want to work. And part of Xabi Alonso's obviously game plan was to work. And if we unless there is a huge modification from Klopp, a huge compromise in the way that he plays to obviously suit more of this Real Madrid approach of suit the players that we buy rather than let's discuss what we need to fit your style. He's not going to succeed at Real Madrid, I don't think. And again, that's not saying that Klopp's going to be a bad manager, but it will reflect badly on him if it does. If it doesn't exactly go to plan, it will reflect poorly on him. Again, it shouldn't do, because Klopp is a fantastic manager. We know this. But if he was to go there, he would flop purely based on the fact that he would be stubborn enough not to change his approach. He'll be stubborn enough not to change his tactics, and the players won't like it. The players won't want to work hard. The players won't want to do that intense style of play that, of course, made him famous in both Germany and England. So I'm kind of worried by this. I do not want Klopp to take over at the Bernabeu for those couple of reasons. As for Xabi Alonso, I'm sure there'll be no shortage of options available to Alonso in the near future. in terms of a potential new job for him. It just wasn't meant to be at Real Madrid. It just wasn't a good enough fit. But what do you guys think? Were Real Madrid right to sack Xabi Alonso? Or were they wrong? Do you think Jurgen Klopp would make a great replacement at the Bernabeu? Or do you think that it is another case of a poor match made between those two? And who would you like to see, or want to see, or think will succeed at Real Madrid as the next permanent manager of that great club? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below in the comments section. Use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on what you think about this conversation and this topic of discussion. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new and want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I will see you and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.